Hello and welcome to Techie Hive. Today we'll talk about another important Java interview question, and the question is on the screen. How would you create an immutable class in Java? Can you name a few immutable classes defined in Java? Are immutable classes thread safe? So by asking this question, interviewer wants to understand that you have a good understanding how class states are changed and how to make class thread safe. Let's jump into the answer. To create an immutable class in Java, you design it so that once an object is created, its state can never change. And this is achieved through a combination of language features and design rules. So first rule says declare the class as final so that subclasses, so other classes cannot drive this class. And this will maintain the immutability of the state of the class. Second rule says make all fields private and final. So this will restrict other classes or subclasses to access the field directly, and also making fields final will ensure that the fields are initialized only once when object is created and cannot be modified later. Third rule says do not provide setter methods. So setter methods are used to update the state of the object. So to make a class immutable, we have to remove, or we have to avoid creating the setter methods for the class. So if we don't have setter method, then there would be no way to modify fields once the object is created. Fourth rule says initialize all fields by constructor because fields are uh, final. So when you create the object, then all of the fields should be injected through the constructor. Number five rule says defensive copying of the mutable fields. So always make defensive copy of the mutable fields. Prevent external modification of the internal states. So whenever you are copying the mutable fields from your class, always copy the mutable fields and don't return the reference of the fields directly. Return copies of the mutable fields in getter method. So always return copy of the mutable objects from your class in getter method. So let's say your class has a mutable object and now you want to return uh, object through the getter method. Then always return a copy, and I would say deep copy of the object, and avoid returning the direct reference to the mutable object. Let's see one simple example. Here is a simple person class, and this class is immutable. So you can see here class is declared as final. So any other class cannot inherit this class. So all of the fields of this class are not accessible by any other class. Next, all of the fields are private and final. So private means there is no direct access provided to these fields, and final means they need to be initialized at object construction time. And here you can see there is a public constructor. So through the constructor, we are assigning the you know fields of the class. And you can see here a defensive copy. So whatever we are passing from constructor, here we are creating new object from that date class. So here we are not storing reference of the date object passed from the other part of the program. So if we use the same reference to assign this one, then other program can update, you know, the state of the date. So here we are making defensive copy of the object passed to the constructor of this class. Next, no setter methods defined in this class, and we have only defined the getter. So you can see here we have get name. This is a getter for name, then getter for age, and at the end we have getter for birth date. And again, you can see here we are returning a defensive copy. So we are not returning a reference of the date object, because if you return the reference of date object, then the uh, the class calling this method can change the state through the reference. So this is a very simple example to make a class immutable. Next, let's see what are the advantages of the immutable class. Okay, so thread safety by default. So because these classes are immutable, states is never changed by any thread, so they are thread safe. So all thread will see the same state of the object. Easier reasoning and debugging, yeah, because the values are predictable what are given as the at the object construction time. Safe to use as keys in map. So generally when we use map, so if you use the immutable class as a map, then the key yeah, or hash value generated by Java will not change. So it can be cached in memory and can be used. So using immutable class as a key makes the map safe. No synchronization required. So as only objects are created Kazakh's time. So objects are not updated by any thread. So we don't need to make any synchronization to synchronize the object access. Next, list of the immutable classes provided in Java. So here is a list of a few immutable classes, and string class, as we discussed in one of the other video, that string class is immutable. So once string class object is created, the state of the object cannot be changed. Integer, long, double, character, so all wrapper classes in Java are immutable. So once object is created, the value cannot be changed. Class, this is the generic type class, and this class is also immutable. Enum, all enums constants are immutable. Local date, local time, and local date time. So there are many other classes in Java which are immutable, but this is a small list of the immutable classes in Java. Okay, that's all I wanted to cover in this video. Hope you like it. See you in next video.